So today I'm going to be doing a Winsor & Newton ink painting of a bunny rabbit. If you guys didn't already know, I'm currently doing a Kickstarter to make a set of enamel pins, and it'd mean a lot if you guys could go in and check it out. I've linked it in the description below. If you can't back me, that's fine, but it'd be great if you could share the link to anyone who you think may be interested in getting a pin. I'm halfway there now to getting them funded, and we're about halfway through the time now, so if you want to get one, go get one quickly. And they're also going to be a little bit more expensive on my Etsy shop, so if you want to get one now, as you get a better deal on them. Also, my Instagram and my Facebook and Twitter are all linked below as well if you want to go check them out. I do post exclusive illustrations and my animation sneak peeks there, so you should go and check them out too. So let's get started with this illustration. To create a nice crisp border, I'm using washi tape. Washi tape is great because when you remove it, it won't rip the paper and it makes sure your illustration stays within the border you put up with it. So I'm starting out by sketching out my sketch. I'm drawing a rabbit with a little log next to it, and I just want it to be really nice and earthy and green. As you can see here, I wasn't 100% happy and I wanted to make my illustration a little bit bigger, so I just adjusted the washi tape. And you can see how easy it is to remove it. This piece was heavily inspired by a photo I found on Pinterest. I just thought it'd be really sweet and would look really cute replicated in Winsor & Newton inks. Recently I've been drawing a lot of animals. I'm not sure why, but I just feel so inspired to be drawing them. I think one of the reasons is I'm creating an animation at the moment which is set in a forest, and I'm drawing animals over the top of video footage I've taken. If you want to see more of that process, you should definitely check out my studio vlogs. At the moment I'm working on a scene with a rabbit which is coming out of a rabbit hole, and he's gonna be wearing a little waistcoat, and I just don't know, I just really like drawing animals and it's just been something I've been really interested in doing. It's been a lot of fun experimenting with different colours and different materials as well. I think I want to experiment a little bit more with gouache because I've definitely done a lot of pieces recently which are digital or done with inks. So it'll be fun to try something out a little bit different because it's been a while since I've used them. Other than the pink flowers, this turned out to be quite an earthy toned image. There was lots of greens and browns in it, but I actually added in a little bit of orange in with my inks just to make it that little bit warmer because I wanted the piece to be a really nice, bright, bold, childish, childlike kind of image, but I just didn't want to take away from it too much, so I wanted to keep the colours, you know, natural. I didn't want to use pastels as much as I usually do. I think one of the things I struggled with the most with this piece was getting this little tunnel, this wooden tunnel, dark enough. In the end, I did end up mixing a little bit of black in with the ink. I'm not really a massive fan of using blacks in my artwork, but I felt like it was very necessary to just use a little bit because I just couldn't get the browns quite dark enough, even when I mixed in other colours like purple and a dark deep red with the brown. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of mixing colours because I find it so frustrating when you can't repeat the colour, you can't get the same colour that you've already used again, so I tend just to buy tubes of paint and I just use those colours over and over again and I don't mix that much. However, I find Winsor & Newton inks so easy to mix, and I don't really mind if the shades come out slightly different than they did before because it just gives it this really kind of natural, raw look to it when the colours don't quite match up. And they're just really easy to blend and lighten using water. So here I'm using the black just to make this little bit a lot darker. I'm not a massive fan of using black, as I mentioned before, because I just feel like you can get darker tones by mixing colours together, but I just couldn't achieve the colour I wanted without using it. I actually ended up using a tiny bit of black to blend in with the background, because as you can see here at the moment it was a lot brighter than I was going for. I wanted the dark green to be a nice foresty dark green rather than a bright happy green, if that makes sense. This was just a little bit too bright for this illustration, and I didn't really think it captured that kind of foresty, woody look I wanted to go for. And this is when I feel like the background started to come together a little bit more. I really like how textured ink dries on the paper. As always, I'm using prismacolor pencils to go over the top of my illustration. I really enjoy doing this. I just find it so nice and relaxing, and it's great to see the whole piece come together. I actually use a lot of coloured pencils for this. I think I used about 10 different pencils, which is quite a lot for me because I like to keep my palette as restricted as possible, and I try to use as few pencils as I can. But as this had quite a bit of detail in, and I think it needed a lot of shading, I ended up using a lot of my pencils for it. And I also mix the colours up as well, so when I'm drawing the green leaves, I'm actually putting in a little bit of dark blue and red in there as well, just to make things really stand out. It's not noticeable that I've done that, but it really makes a difference when you look at it before and after that. I've added in the different tones and colours. I especially love using a yellow coloured pencil just to add that warmth into the picture. Prismacolor pencils are great because you can build them on top of the inks and the colour still shines through. Even if it is a dark colour, you will still be able to see the bright yellow over the top of it. I know I keep saying this, but I love how the piece comes together when you finally put the coloured pencils on, and it just brings everything together and it just makes things so much brighter. And I love the texture that the coloured pencil adds to the illustrations. It just makes it seem so much more like it's come out of a children's fairy tale or something like that. So when I was done, I took off the washi tape to reveal the nice, smooth, crisp, straight lines around the edge. And here you go, here is the finished illustration. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, my Kickstarter is linked down below if you want to go and check that out, and my other social medias are as well. If you're new here, please remember to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button so you'll be the first to be notified for when I next upload. And hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!